Back to the channel, guys. This is Bree and we are back. It has been a couple months and it has been a crazy few months, that's for sure. Getting the garden in and all of the things that's busy with the garden, and then we decided as a family to work on our house, which was a kind of the plan for the summer, but I just didn't realize how much time it was going to take to kind of get all the projects done inside as well as outside. And we were also trying to wrap up some homeschooling stuff so we could finish some books, and it was just, needless to say, crazy. And we had some heat that we had to babysit our chickens a lot because the heat was just taking a toll on them. We ended up losing a couple, and it was just a lot of extra work. So needless to say, whenever I have so many things juggling, I end up dropping a ball, and it a lot of times ends up being social media, which is fine because my value is in my home, my children, my husband, and keeping our animals alive, right? So sometimes a ball has to drop, and unfortunately a lot of times that means social media. However, if you follow me over on Instagram, then I post over there more frequently, more consistently, I guess, because it's easier just to throw up a story here and there or a post. We are going to try to slowly get back into videos. I don't know what that's going to look like for sure. I think I want to take a little bit of a different turn as we go into the fall and winter, so we'll see with that. I'm just going to kind of take it as it goes and start doing little things here and there. I do want to catch you guys up on all of the gardening progress and harvesting. I have been taking videos here and there, so I will show you that for sure. Today I wanted to bring you along with me planting our fall crops. So we are going to get some fall seeds in the ground today. I have been pulling out stuff. Yesterday I pulled out some tomato plants, and I pulled out a couple pepper plants, the ones that weren't looking great or were diseased. We still have tomato plants that are doing great, but they're slowing down. You know, they're not producing as much, and the stuff that's coming out is looking a little rough because it has been hot. We have got a few days of more mild temperatures recently, which has been amazing, and we've been getting that little glimpse of fall. I'm so excited. I just want fall to come so bad because I need a break. But I'm sitting here next to the pool trying to find an area that's not so windy and loud, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay. But let's get into it. I'm going to show you what we're going to do today. With me, I've got my basket of seeds that I'm going to plant, and then our egg basket and some leftovers from last night. We had breakfast burritos, and so I'm going to give those to the chickens because they enjoy some scrambled eggs. Hey, Cody girls. They are coming to say hi. I wanted to try to show you guys from this side of the fence because they'll just be all up my face if I go in there. But look how pregnant they are, especially Jade. She's due in about 4 weeks. You can see her udder and teats coming in. And Stella is due in, let's see, 8 days after Jade, so 5-ish weeks. Hi, girls. No, oh, careful, baby. Is there eggs?
Probably an egg on the hole.
Oh yeah, she might have one under her. Do you got any eggs for us? Raise your hand in there and see if she'll let you without pecking you. I think she's more nice, she won't peck you. Yeah, she's not gonna peck you.
How nice.
No eggs? Okay, we'll wait.
Yeah.
Is there eggs back there? Hey, Jay. Super wide. So some of our chickens are deciding to lay back in the behind the hay feeder.
Can I see your nephew?
She's gotten a little bit more standoffish with the pregnancy. But Stella, on the other hand, get where I can see you. Stella, on the other hand, she's gotten super sweet. She doesn't like chickens.
Actually,
Stella. Hi.
I'm not playing.
Any?
Two.
Two.
Pretty big ones.
Yeah, that's a big one. Hi, Gordies. I'm already sweating. I had to take Stella up to the hose and wash her off. I don't know what she got on her, maybe chicken poop or something. But I got some, it was like caked on, so I got that off, and now I'm all sweaty because I had to let them eat a little bit. All right, onto the garden. Back to my basket. I moved the green stock to this side of the house, and it seems to be doing really well. I remember to water it better. So these are beans that I planted a few weeks ago. These ones up here is a different variety of this one. And they seem to be doing a whole lot better. I probably need to fertilize this. Some worm castings in there or something. There's some parsley. And some green onions. The tomatoes are finding their way up on top of the porch here. And you can see how overgrown they are. It's just one big mass. I really should be pulling them up and tying them up here, but I have not had the time to spend as much time in the garden. From here you can see we have some holes because I've been pulling stuff out. Our squash got obliterated by the squash bugs and vine borers this year, so didn't get a lot of that. My tomatoes here are starting to get a little diseased. I thinned them out, so we'll see if that helps get a few more out of it. This was where my potatoes were, and I had some peppers, and I pulled all that out, harvested. My big sunflower plants are gone. Behind me, you can see the peppers, and then there's the tomatoes from this side. And we have been getting so many peppers. It's been a great pepper year, been a great tomato year. I haven't had time to can all my tomatoes, but I am freezing them. I have been putting them in bags and freezing them. And here soon I will pull them out and can all my tomatoes. I have got some pickled peppers done. I have just frozen peppers as well, like sliced and frozen them. We've ate a lot of fresh peppers, a lot of fresh tomatoes, so that's been great. But yeah, it's been a good year for those two things. I did better with my potatoes this year, and I did not weigh them, but we've already ate everything, so that shows you it wasn't a lot, but it was better than last year where we were like little tiny little things, and this year we actually had them like, you know, decent size of my hand. So I was okay with that because I kind of just last minute threw some in a little section, so I wasn't expecting much, so it did well for what I was expecting. Strangely, this hibiscus bush has not done very well this year. It used to be very full and thick and you couldn't see through it. This year's been very straggly. This side of it over here is dying. It's just very bare. Still has some pretty blooms, but I have not done any research, so I don't know. If you know about hibiscus bushes, let me know in the comments. Everything is so crunchy and just dying back. This was so vibrant and green back in June and even July because we had so much rain this midsummer, but we're starting to dry up and this heat has just been killing us. So look at my overgrown tomatoes. Still have them hanging out over here. Bug. See the bug? I need to get something on these. So my two arches are looking kind of sad and wimpy. The beans did really well. They grew up and over, and then they're starting over here. However, I do not like this variety of beans, so that's been a negative. The variety we grew, I'll have to look at which one it was, but whatever we grew, it wasn't supposed to be stringy, but ours was, and I don't know if it was because it's hot and it made it stringy, or maybe something in our soil. I have no idea. I need to do some more research on beans, but they just did not, even if I pick them young, like, you know, smaller, they just aren't turning out great, and they're very like hard. Not what I wanted in a bean. So I'm hoping my bush beans that I planted in the green stalk and some I'm about ready to plant, I'm hoping those will give us a better bean that we might enjoy a little bit better. You can see my beautiful sunflowers had to be pulled down. They were past due. These peppers are just looking like this a lot, so I guess I'm not watering them consistently enough or something. But I watered them last night and now they look like that this morning, so we might need to do something different. I've never planted squash in the fall, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a chance, a try, because I don't know, I saw a couple things where it said that we could plant squash right now, so we're gonna go ahead and plant a little bit. I've never done this variety either, so we'll see how it does. The other squash I'm gonna do is just the zucchini and then the golden squash, so we'll see. I plant these all, every year I plant these, and every year they get taken out by squash bugs and vine borers, and I fight it for a while and then I give up, because after spending hours picking bugs off and using duct tape to get the eggs off, they just still decimate my plants. So a lot of times it's not worth it, but I so love homegrown squash and zucchini. I just haven't figured out the right organic way to address the bugs. Kind of nice. Look how shiny I am. It's kind of nice having these arches here. It provides a little bit of shade for me. Okay, so I took out a couple tomato vines that were in the way, and then several basil plants. So our basil has taken off and gone crazy this year. If you can see over here in this pile behind me is basil. So those were massive plants. So I cut those down so we can put actual things in the ground that we want to harvest and preserve for the winter. But this is what we have. That bed I left the zinnias and the parsley, and then this bed I left the zinnias, and I might trim those back though, so that, you know, I can grow more. But I think I turned around here, so this is behind me. This bed has tomatoes in it, but only a few of them are kind of like stewing things. There's a few tomatoes on them that are green and a few flowers. So I think I'm gonna make the hard decision and go ahead and pull those. That way I can plant some like lettuces and things that I want to plant for fall crops. And I still have 2 beds with tomatoes in it. Those are my ramas and a couple beefsteaks. So we'll see. I think tomato season is kind of wrapping up. It's middle of August, so we've gotten a lot. I'm happy with what we got. So you can see I kind of rigged up my board across here, broke in one of our storms we had. And so I have a T-post there holding stuff up. These were beefsteaks, I think, and then at the end I had one rama. And this is what I'm talking about the basil. This is one basil plant, if you can see that. It goes all the way up, which is about probably 4 foot, and it's like just as wide and all over the landscape fabric. But you can see my dilemma not taking it out, because all these bees. I hope you can hear me over the AC. It's always on this time of year. So this is I had some cherry tomatoes planted here. My hope was that they would come up and around. They've not done that very well, but again, I wasn't training them as well either. And then these are the first time we've grown. These are the spoon tomatoes, and they're getting really dried out and crunchy. We aren't picking them as fast. They're pretty sweet, like they have like a sweet flavor, but again, they're just teeny tiny. It's more just for snacking, but they're really cute. The kids have enjoyed them. So next year, these little spoon tomatoes, I plan to only do 1 plant, and same with cherry tomatoes. I think I'm only gonna do one. They just kind of take over, like wherever you put them, they just take over. And so I think one plant each would be enough, but they are fun. They're fun to grow. And I like to dry the cherry tomatoes for soups and salads and stuff like that. Those are really good. But here's the cherry tomatoes. It's been so fun to just walk under these arches and pick things. It's kind of like super tight in here now. See? It's so very overgrown. These guys are looking a little sad, but they're my Roma tomatoes. They are still putting out tomatoes. I guess I do. I was gonna say I don't see flowers, but I see some flowers coming. It's been a long time since I've seen some flowers because it's been so hot. And the other thing I've been dealing with is the blossom end rot, like that. And I've heard it's because of calcium deficiency, and then I've also heard that it's because of like dry, hot weather, not enough watering, that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure which one it is. So I did try to put some of our raw milk. I diluted it down and I put it with water and put it inside of these beds. So I had read that that's a good way to add calcium to soil. So we'll see. I don't know if calcium is the thing that is causing it or if it's, you know, the heat. So yeah, I'd like to still get some Rama tomatoes just because they have grown so well this year. And the more the merrier. I know not all years are the same, and some years you just don't have a good year. So if I can as much as possible this year, that'd be great. Take some pressure off next year if we have extra. That would be fine. Thanks for joining me today as we walked through the garden and got some seeds in the ground for our fall harvest. And we just thank you for joining us and hope you have a wonderful day. And we will catch you on the next video. Bye, guys.